I want to bring in Steve Cortes. He was with the Trump team, Trump advisor. I think you're now separated from the Trump team, if I'm not mistaken. But, Steve, right. This is the Trump growth rally, isn't it?
It sure is, Stuart. And, you know, I couldn't agree more, by the way, with what Mike Murphy was just saying, which is that, you know, Trump needs to be and will be, I believe, a president for all Americans, including those who didn't vote for him. And in Silicon Valley, for example, he didn't get very much support outside of Peter Thiel. But I think, isn't this wonderful, first of all, that Peter Thiel is not your cookie-cutter Republican. He's an openly gay man, a tech billionaire. That's not typically the kind of person who would support Trump, but he did. And now he has an integral role in the transition, and he's reaching out to fellow venture people in Silicon Valley. I think we're going to surprise them. I think we're going to surprise a lot of our critics because we're going to deliver the growth that this country so badly needs.
Well, that's what this rally on the stock market is all about, and the rally in the dollar. It's all about the future prospects for growth in the Trump administration. I mean, you can just say that and leave it at that, can't you?
Yeah, amen. I think you can. I would also point out the bond market. A lot of your viewers might not watch the bond market very closely, but in this case, maybe they should, because interest rates have really spiked since the election. Sometimes that would be a bad thing. I think in this scenario, it's actually a great thing, because interest rates have been so low for so long, basically the entire present administration. The fact that they spiked tells us that not just stock traders, but also bond traders believe that we can and will grow again, that once we take the shackles off, the American economy is a runner that is dying to sprint, but he's wearing this weighted vest, which is taxes and regulation. Once we take that weighted vest off, that runner is going to accelerate and fast.
Now, we've been showing our audience lots of different kinds of stocks on the screen there. We've gone through financials, big tech, we've gone drug stocks and energy stocks. All across the board, pretty much across the board, markets and stocks individually are going higher. Some of the big pharma companies are a little on the downside, but not by much. This is a very broad-based rally. But, Steve, you've got to tell me, why is it that it's the small stocks in the Russell 2000 and the Wilshire 5000, it's those stocks which have had the best gains? You tell me why.
Right. No, and I'm glad you asked me, Stuart. They have by far the best gains. And you know why? I think it's America first. America first isn't just about foreign policy. It's now about economic policy. And the small caps tend to be more domestic. They're not as global as the behemoths that tend to dominate the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. And so we're seeing the little guys. I think what we're going to see is growth on Main Street. It's going to be good for Wall Street, too. But Donald Trump really isn't focused on Wall Street. He's focused on Main Street growth. And those small cap stocks that are in the Russell 2000, in the ETF, the IWM, they tend to be more representative of Main Street America. So what we're seeing is emerging markets not doing so well lately, U.S. domestic names soaring.
Mike Murphy did not take his microphone off, and he wishes to chime in.
Yeah, I was going to say that when you talk about the small caps, they are U.S.-centric companies. So Trump wants to bring everything back U.S. first. So these companies have their earnings coming from the United States, not from overseas, where a strong dollar could hurt those earnings. So these are companies that will be able to profit from what's going on with the Trump administration. That's why the huge rally.
I've got